Hello children, welcome for today's biology class. So today we are going to continue the chapter excretory products and their elimination. The topic going to be covered is urine formation. So now let us study regarding urine formation. The urine formation, it involves three main steps, that is glomerular filtration, tubular secretion and tubular reabsorption. These three, it occurs in different parts of nephron. So let us study brief what are the steps involved here. So that is filtration, reabsorption and secretion. So in the first step, filtration of water and dissolved substances out of the blood in the glomeruli and into the Bowman's capsule occurs. In second step, reabsorption of water and dissolved substances out of the kidney tubules back into the blood. It is very important because it prevents loss of useful substances. So next is secretion. It is secretion of hydrogen ions, potassium ions, ammonia and certain drugs out of the blood and into kidney tubules where it can be eliminated through urine. So here the first let us study regarding glomerular filtration. So during glomerular filtration, a protein-free fluid is filtered from the blood of glomerular capillaries. So why proteins cannot be filtered? Because they are macromolecules, so that's why they cannot come out of the capillaries. So about 1200 ml of blood is filtered by the kidneys per minute. The filtration is caused by the blood by blood pressure in the glomerular capillaries. So the filtration, it occurs through three layers. Okay, what are the three layers? They are endothelium of glomerular capillaries, epithelium of Bowman's capsule and the basement membrane between two layers. You know, basement membrane, that is the membrane, what you can see in epithelium. Okay, so the basement membrane between the two layers. These are the three layers through that the filtration occurs. So see here, so the pink color what they have given, it is one layer, blue color other layer, in between basement membrane is there. So here can you see, so through afferent arteriole the blood comes in and it is being filtered, it moves inside the glomerulus and later it is filtered and the glomerular filtrate, it enters inside the Bowman's capsule. You can see the arrow. Okay, what they have given in light brown color, it is glomerular filtrate. What they have given red color, that is the blood flow inside the glomerulus. So blood comes in through afferent arteriole and it goes out through efferent arteriole. By that time, by means of pressure, it is glomerular filtrate is formed and the glomerular filtrate, then later it enters inside proximal convoluted tubule. So here the epithelial cells, that is the podocytes of Bowman's capsule, are arranged. Okay, so arranged in a manner by means of the arrangement it forms some filtration slits. Okay, through that then the filtration occurs. So here the blood is filtered so finely so that the composition of filtrate is very similar to plasma. Only the plasma proteins won't be there in the glomerular filtrate. And it won't be having the blood cells also because they are bigger. The cells it cannot come, but it resembles the plasma, and the plasma only they are lacking. The glomerular filtrate is lacking that macromolecules of protein. The glomerular filtrate, it is about 125 ml per minute or 180 liters per day. The kidneys, they are having a built mechanism for the regulation of glomerular filtrate. So the built mechanism, that is juxtaglomerular apparatus. So here juxtaglomerular apparatus is a specialized cellular apparatus located where the distal convoluted tubule passes close to Bowman's capsule between afferent and efferent arteriole. Can you see afferent arteriole and between efferent arteriole you can see the distal tubule where it is passing. That is what it has been marked as macula densa. It is a part of juxtaglomerular apparatus. So this portion, this juxtaglomerular apparatus, so it secretes that release one substance called renin, and that renin, it can cause a series of reaction, and by means of that the glomerular filtrate, it can be maintained. So how the filtrate has to be there accordingly controlled. Next is reabsorption. So about 90% of the filtrate is reabsorbed by the renal tubule by the epithelial cells lining of the of the renal tubule. So the certain substances like glucose, amino acids, sodium ions, calcium ions and potassium ions are absorbed actively, and water it is reabsorbed passively by osmosis, and other substances like chloride ions are absorbed passively. So some ions are absorbed passively and some actively. Active transport, so it involves energy. So next is tubular secretion. So during this process, certain substances like K plus and ammonia are directly secreted into the lumen of the nephron. Lumen is the cavity of the nephron. This step is much important in urine formation because it is helpful to maintaining the ionic balance and the pH of the body fluids. Now can you see here how it occurs? So here the glomerulus, it is forming the glomerular filtrate, and it is being passed through proximal convoluted tubule and Henle's loop, then later through distal convoluted tubule, then collecting duct. So while it is being passed through, some substances they are being reabsorbed and some are secreted. Okay, so absorption and secretion it occurs. So here water molecules, and here also water molecules are absorbed. Here water molecules are absorbed, like the sodium ion. So various ions and water molecules are being absorbed according to the necessity. So role of different segments in the nephron. So first it is Malpighian corpuscle. So the first step of the urine formation, ultrafiltration, it occurs from the glomerular capillaries into the lumen of Bowman's capsule. Next, proximal convoluted tubule. In this segment, nearly 70 to 80% of the electrolytes and water are reabsorbed. Proximal convoluted tubule, it helps in maintaining pH and ionic balance of the body fluids by selective secretion of hydrogen ions, ammonia, potassium ions into the filtrate, and by reabsorbing bicarbonate ions. Then Henle's loop. This segment plays an important role in maintaining high osmolarity of the medullary interstitial fluid. The descending limb is permeable to water and it is impermeable to electrolytes. So filtrate it becomes hypertonic. The ascending limb is not permeable to water but permeable to solutes. So the filtrate becomes hypotonic. So the distal convoluted tubule. So here the reabsorption of sodium and water takes place in this segment. DCT also reabsorbs bicarbonate ions and secretes ammonia, hydrogen and potassium ions into the filtrate. Thus it maintains the pH and sodium potassium balance in the blood. Next is collecting duct. Large amount of water could be reabsorbed from the region. This segment also allows the transport of small amounts of urea into the medullary interstitium. So what is the purpose of absorption? So this one, it plays a role in maintaining pH and ionic balance of the body fluids. Okay, so we studied regarding each and every function of the parts, different parts of nephron. So here diagrammatic representation of nephron and vasa recti. So how it is being red color what it has been shown, it shows regarding active transport. What it has been shown in purple color, it is the passive transport. Active transport by spending energy and passive transport without spending energy. Can you see water is permeable here in all places except the ascending limb of Henle. So descending limb permeable to water, on all places it is permeable, so only here it is impermeable to water. Then slowly you see here the hypotonic solution and it becomes hypertonic. When it comes here, the tonicity 1200. So like that slowly it increases by reabsorption of water. So it is no special countercurrent mechanism seen in the kidney. What is countercurrent mechanism? When the fluid it flows in opposite direction. Can you see? So the direction is this side and here the direction is in the opposite side. So here also the direction it is in to and fro, in both of them are in opposite direction. When you compare these two tubules, once again in opposite direction. So this type of flow of blood you call that as blood and other fluids inside tubules, that you call that as counter current mechanism. It is helpful in creating, concentrating the substances and absorption of various molecules. It is helpful. This counter current mechanism, especially it is seen in the kidney to form during the formation of urine. Okay.